Two of these things are not like the others. Two of these things aren't the same. Can you guess which things are not like the others before I finish this stream? Hey everybody, Mikeylito here, and welcome to the second edition of Get Off My Lawn. When I first started this channel about a year ago, I had planned on doing a show called Word. And let me show you the graphic. You can see that it's a scene from Warner Brothers' Lethal Weapon 3. And there's a whole sequence in that film where Roger Murtaugh is talking to his son Nick, and there's this whole thing about word, word, word. Well, I was going to use that as a show, but Warner Brothers decided that uh, anytime that I used that clip, that they were going to take the monetization from my video into their financial coffers. So I decided not to do the show, but just to give you an example of the kind of things that might have been in the show, let's take a look at this word, narrative. And I'm particularly interested in this definition here, a representation of a particular situation or process in such a way as to reflect or conform to an overarching set of aims or values. Now, the reason I bring up a narrative is because I want to show you how narratives can help engineer toxic fandom. And as an example, I'm going to use this article. Daredevil isn't the biggest draw for She-Hulk or Echo. Some of Marvel's upcoming Disney Plus TV shows are already getting more criticism than hype, which might explain why Daredevil is randomly in them. And you can see this article was published by Timothy Donahue on August 7th, 2022. So that was exactly 1 month ago. Some would say the Marvel Cinematic Universe has seen better days. It doesn't feel like every announced project is a must-see event anymore. Not like they were before in Avengers Endgame. The biggest losers in this regard are easily the Disney Plus MCU shows. Though series such as WandaVision and Loki were quite popular, most of the newer ones have gotten less attention from the public. Marvel seems to sense this because they appear to be using the return of the Daredevil to get audiences to tune into some of its newer offerings. Ultimately, this might just be a marketing technique. Daredevil is a pretty popular character fans have wanted to see reintroduced for a while. But it opens up questions about why they aren't focusing on the main characters in shows like She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and Echo. And ultimately, this tactic could be considered a bait and switch that will alienate more viewers than it brings in. Daredevil is showing up in both Echo and She-Hulk. Before Marvel started making its own streaming shows, the first MCU series premiered on Netflix. The first such production was the critically acclaimed Daredevil, which brought the man without fear to a gritty world far removed from the humor and quips that the MCU had already become known for. Fans have been demanding that Daredevil show up in the MCU movies, especially after the cancellation of the Netflix show. That finally happened in a brief scene during Spider Man No Way Home, but Charlie Cox only appeared as Matt Murdock and not his superhero alter ego. Before, Devil, Before Daredevil Born Again comes to Disney Plus, The Guardian of Hell's Kitchen will be featured in She Hulk, Attorney at Law, and Echo. These two appearances make some amount of sense, as She Hulk is also a lawyer, while Echo debuted in the Daredevil comic books. At the same time, the cameos appear a bit random, particularly in the case of She Hulk, Attorney at Law. It seems more like Marvel is trying to drum up interest by inserting a hero they know everyone wants to see again. Is Marvel worried people don't care about She Hulk or Echo? Both She Hulk and Echo have been somewhat controversial for different reasons. In the case of the former, the show's CGI has been heavily made fun of, while its quirky comedic nature seemingly comes at a bad time considering recent criticism of Marvel's humor. When it comes to Echo, some see it right up there with the Agatha Harkness spinoff in terms of unnecessary productions. Perhaps that's why Marvel Studios has had Daredevil put into both shows. Either way, the fact that some fans are commenting that they only watching to see Daredevil is bad for the overall health of the MCU, as many may start making their disinterest more vocal through retaining their dollars and streaming time. Marvel is making it seem as if neither She Hulk or Echo can carry their own show without fans turning in to see another hero. Given how progressive Marvel Studios is supposed to be, it's confusing that Daredevil is being used to prop up interest in two female character shows, shows that can and should stand on their own merits. Both of these shows could turn out to be the best Disney Plus shows yet. But as of now, it's a little baffling to see Marvel Studios using fans' love of Daredevil to get them to watch a TV series some may not have watched otherwise. Audiences will have to wait until She Hulk, Attorney at Law, and Echo premiere to see whether or not they surpass early criticism or if Daredevil is really the best thing about them. And as you can see, She Hulk Attorney at Law premieres August 18th. This article was written 11 days before She Hulk premiered. So, now I want to introduce you to another word: stunt casting. Stunt casting is the casting of a very famous actor or other celebrity as a guest star in a movie or TV show in order to garner publicity. Hmm, I wonder if this was a word that was just made up for She Hulk. I don't know, I don't think so. For example, January 14th, 1957, George Reeves appears on I Love Lucy in an episode where Lucy promised little Ricky that Superman would appear at his birthday party, and there was really no way for her to deliver on that promise. March 10th, 1967, Sonny and Cher appeared on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. in the Hot Number Affair. In the 70s, there was an entire series full of stunt casting. Batman, starring Adam West and Burt Ward. And they had guest stars such as Cesar Romero, Burgess Meredith, Julie Newmar, Eartha Kitt, Frank Gorshin, Victor Buono, Milton Berle, Vincent Price, Ann Baxter, Carolyn Jones, remember her? Morticia from the Addams Family, Cliff Robertson, Van Williams, and yes, even Bruce Lee. But let's continue. January 6, 1994, Robin Williams appeared on Homicide: Life on the Street on the NBC television network. And that young man on his right shoulder happened to be the episode director's son. You might know him as Jake Gyllenhaal. October 20th, 1996, the man that's being carried by Dean Cain in The New Adventures of Superman, Lois and Clark, is Jack Larson. You may remember Jack Larson as the original Jimmy Olsen on the original Adventures of Superman. And for a more recent example, February 5th, 2021, Evan Peters appears on WandaVision as Quicksilver. Pietro Maximoff, Wanda's brother. So far on She-Hulk, we've had Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, Tim Roth as the Abomination, and Benedict Wong as Wong the Sorcerer Supreme. Hey, everybody loves Wong. Now, they even referenced the fact that people might accuse him of doing a cameo of the week, because if you remember at the beginning of episode 3, Jennifer turns to the camera and says, "Oh, you think this is going to be one of those shows that do the cameo of the week?" And oh wait, well, we did have this one. Yeah, exactly. Well, and so far, no Daredevil. Timothy must be going nuts. So, have you guessed which things are not like the others yet? Well, I won't keep you in suspense. It was Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Their number one votes, which are the lowest votes that you can go on IMDb, were wildly out of whack to all the other productions in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Don't believe me? Let's take 2 minutes and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Hello, everybody. Mikeylito here, and we are now live from the basement. And what you just saw was a look at the 37, or I should say, the 36 different official Marvel Cinematic Universe productions and the ratings that they carried that users gave them on IMDb. And what I'd like to do now is focus in. I already showed you this one, which is Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk Attorney at Law. But what I'd like to do now is focus in on particularly She-Hulk. So let's do that, shall we? As things stand right now, this is the overall IMDb ratings for She-Hulk Attorney at Law. You can see that 83,676. Let's refresh this because I'm curious about something. Yes, at least 100 more people have chimed in since I first brought up that screen at about 9:30 tonight. So that's a little more than an hour ago. And we have 31,721 votes that's saying, like, hey, this is a shit show. And then I guess we have some people that tried to counterbalance it with 10 votes. And then we have other votes. But you see right down here, rating by demographic. Let's take a look at who these people are and how they voted. And the items with the lowest rating is these two groups right here. Males 18 to 29 and 30 to 44. They have overall rated the show a 4.8, but that's an average. So let's take a look at like the 30 to 44 males because there is a breakout. Oh my God. 4,681, 35% of the IMDb users who chose to vote on this series rated it a number one. Like there were no shows that were worse than that show. Boy, that's kind of amazing. Now, I happen to have a list of the 37 official and one unofficial Marvel Cinematic Universe shows. Let's just take a look at some of them, shall we? Let's begin with. Oh, a lot of people didn't like Iron Man 2, so let's take a look at that one. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, how about Thor: The Dark World? People complain about that one a lot. Also, kind of normal. Not a whole lot of one votes. I know. How about a movie that had a pretty much a all black cast? Black Panther. Let's take a look at that. Okay, a few more one votes, but still not too bad. 2.9%. Um, I know a lot of people complained about Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. Let's take a look at that. Okay, a few more, a few more votes down in the number one category, but still kind of normal. Um, Another one with a black lead character, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No, overall, pretty good. Not bad at all. Okay, they seem to be focused in on females. Let's take a look at Black Widow. No, still not, still not too bad. Okay, a lot of people didn't like Eternals, and this one, a few more one votes than others. It looks like 6.0%. A lot of people thought Hawkeye was pretty dismal. Numbers aren't too bad. 1.5%. And so that leads us to, well, no, Spider Man No Way Home. Now, I expected that to be good. It actually got 2.1%, but look at those number 10 votes. Wow. Moon Knight. A lot of people complained about that show also, but still, a lot of 10 votes, a lot of 8 votes. More 1 votes than normal, but still not too bad. And here's the one I don't understand. Not that one. This one. Ms. Marvel was a delightful show. Why it got review bombed like this? I'm totally surprised, just totally. Agent Carter. Now I included this because I feel this is an MCU show. Kevin Feige might disagree with me, but I feel that's an MCU show. We can go into a discussion at another time of why I feel that way. But these two shows, She Hulk and Ms. Marvel, not so much. For whatever reason, fandoms are at war. They're at war with content creators, they're at war with the companies that create content, they're at war with other fandoms. And sometimes, on a personal level, they're at war with each other. Everybody should take a lesson from my generation. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Oh my God. You're from the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Back to the 60s.
Wait a
Back.
second.
There's no place for you here in the future. Get back while you still can.
All right, James Earl Jones, just settle down, okay? Life's too short to get aggravated over fictional content, especially fictional content about dragons, demons, dinosaurs, aliens, and superheroes. At least until one of these things shows up in real life. Nobody is asking you to watch everything or enjoy everything. This content is intended for entertainment purposes only. You can turn it off, switch the channel, vote with your dollars, or how about this for a novel idea? Go outside and do something. What I do have a problem with is commenting on material you haven't seen or reading clickbait and assuming that what you've read is real. Have you traced the source of some of the content that you're basing your opinions on? A lot of the articles that you read, they have like hyperlinks. Have you ever traced them? I think you should. I know it's challenging to think for yourself, but it's not impossible. I don't particularly care for content about magical creatures, so you haven't heard me comment about Rings of Power or the House of the Dragons, and you won't. I have sampled other content that I didn't think I'd like. That includes Wheel of Time, The Sandman. I enjoyed both of them. I even watched Crimes of the Future, and I wasn't completely turned off, even though I thought I might be. I posted this on my Twitter feed in late July. It was true when I posted it, and it's still true today. Despite Tim's article to the contrary, not a single frame of any of these has been seen. Just reading something on the internet doesn't mean that it's true. Do some legwork, find out for yourself. And as I always say, watch content, form opinion. And in the meantime, get off my lawn.